the second video of the day. I did tell you there'd be more transfer videos, but yeah, we're back for the second one. Today we're going to be talking about Arthur Okonkwo potentially joining Wrexham AFC from Arsenal. So the 21-year-old goalkeeper has been rumoured to be making the move over to Wrexham AFC today, as we look to add depth and strength into that goalkeeping department. So a few people have said that Okonkwo could be the goalkeeper that Wrexham have been wanting to sign since Ben Foster's departure. Obviously we've been rumoured to sign Ben Garrett, the free agent, but if I'm being honest, we can't turn down this opportunity to sign Arthur Okonkwo. He's young, he's shown promising signs from his spells at Crewe Alexander and when he did play abroad in Austria, so this is going to be quite the signing if we are able to pull it off, and it's quite a surreal moment for me because Arsenal is actually the Premier League team that I do support. So if we were to sign a player from Arsenal, this would obviously be a great moment for me. I've actually heard about Arthur Okonkwo because obviously the multiple times we've played FIFA, played Football Manager, he's been having to get loaned out of the club. But yeah, to see Wrexham potentially sign an Arsenal player would obviously be a great moment for me. Quite surreal, wouldn't have expected it. But I mean, it could be a really like a 16-year-old youth player that we've never heard of. But Okonkwo, I think, has been heard of by a lot of people. Obviously with his time at Crewe Alexander, be well known in League 2. And obviously his time abroad in Austria where he did play 9 times for Sturm Graz. I mean, this would be an incredible signing. And I think, yeah, I'm just going to do the rest of the video in the Arsenal shirt because I can't be bothered swapping back to the Wrexham shirt. But a bit about Arthur Okonkwo. Now, he is obviously contracted at Arsenal at the minute, but he spent last season away in Austria, like I said, at side Sturm Graz, where he did actually start 9 times. He made 18 saves and conceded 14 goals. He is actually an Austrian Cup winner, so he did win a cup when he was away in Austria. Prior to his loan spell in Austria, he spent time here in England at Crewe Alexander, 26 games where he did leave with a match rating in January of 7.06, which is one of the higher ratings of the players in the squad, so he did really perform at Crewe Alexander. Now, Okonkwo does stand at a whopping 6'5". Now, if you've seen the figure that he is absolutely huge, and he's definitely a bit broad as well, so he's a massive shot stopper, and he's been described by Arsenal fans as a great shot stopper who's got a very accurate kick. That was also described by Crewe Alexander fans as well. So I've watched a compilation of him. Some of the saves he has made when he was away in Austria specifically were absolutely incredible. Now, you'd think a player of 6'5", quite broad, you'd sort of associate him to be maybe not as agile as getting down to his near post, far post, but Okonkwo is absolutely rapid to get down to make some of the saves. His reflexes are immense, and if we could get those reflexes, that shot stopping ability over to the Kairos, we are so lucky. Now, I think the question has to be asked now, is Okonkwo coming in to be our number 1? And if I'm being honest, I think he definitely is coming in to challenge, because you don't sign a goalkeeper who's had interest from other clubs this summer and not play him, because I think, if I'm being honest, Okonkwo probably has that edge over McNicholas and Mark Howard. If Wrexham are aiming to go and build up a player in goal for next year, because I think we know Mark Howard will not be playing for Wrexham next year unless he signs another 1-year contract. But what I can see happening is Wrexham are going to want to bring Okonkwo in because he's had experience in the past. He's made over 30 appearances in his career at just aged 21, and he's shown really promising signs at the clubs he's been at, and I think we will want to play him in goal, build up his confidence, build up his ability to play amongst the team we've got, get to know the players well, and if we do get him across the line, I would love to see him potentially start against Newcastle, just to see what he's all about, a taster to see Okonkwo in goal. And yeah, I do think he has the edge over McNicholas. Whether, I mean, it's a whole different question. There's nearly like 15 years in age difference between Howard and Okonkwo. It's whether we want to go for an experienced player like Mark Howard over a player who's not got massive experience over here in England playing in the leagues, or if we're going to want to go for that younger, more flexible goalkeeper who's quicker in every attribute in his game. We don't know. So it will be interesting to see what happens if we do sign him. For me, I believe if he does sign, he won't start tomorrow against Tranmere, but he could possibly start next week against Doncaster. And like I said, although he doesn't have major experience over here in England, he has actually played, like I said, 26 times for Crewe Alexander, so he knows what the league is all about, and of course going abroad in Austria where he played against some really good teams over there, most notably Red Bull Salzburg, some teams who actually qualified for Europe he has played against. So I think that's obviously great for his development. He's obviously returned to Arsenal. He's been transfer listed, we believe. He's one of their fringe players that are looking to get away from the club, you know, alongside the likes of Cedric, Nicolas Pepe, Nuno Tavares. So he is on that list to depart Arsenal, and I think for development wise, I think it's best that Okonkwo does actually leave Arsenal. This is funny because I'm talking about a player that obviously plays for my second club, potentially joining my first club. But yeah, I'd like to see Okonkwo in a Wrexham shirt, of course, and I think he'd be really, really good. And I remember actually when he was about 18, 19, he was heavily talked about by Arsenal fans. He didn't really make a good first impression. Obviously, Hibernian, he did make that mistake in the pre-season friendly and hasn't really seen the light of day in an Arsenal shirt again. So it's a bit unfair, but I think he's done really well in the loan moves he has got away from Arsenal. And if I'm being honest, I think now is the time to potentially depart. Although he stands at a whopping 6'5", I don't think he'll be the Arsenal number one anytime soon, especially when you've got Aaron Ramsdale, David Ray in front of you. It's going to be hard for him to find game time. Now, a bit about the signing. It's rumoured that a couple of other European clubs have been interested in Arthur Okonkwo, but Wrexham are the only side to have shown concrete interest in Okonkwo, and Wrexham seems to be his chosen destination. Now, like I said, Wrexham, they've shown the concrete interest in their 21-year-old. European clubs have been interested, but no official bid has been put forward by those teams. That's what I can understand. And Arsenal fans seem to want him to leave to gain more experience for his career-wise. They want him to build up as a player. And I can imagine, I think if this was to be a permanent, this could be our signing of the summer. But it would make sense for it to be a loan move. Obviously, he's had 2 loan moves now. I would expect it to be a third, but I've been wrong in the past about a couple of transfers and a couple of deals. But if we were to get him on a permanent, like I said, it'd be easily signing of the summer. He's got a market value of 1.2 million. So if we can get him on a permanent for under £1 million, I think it would be incredible. Obviously, he's 21 years of age. He showed promising signs. Arsenal won't want to let him go for anything less than £1 million, I can imagine. Obviously, it's peanut money to Arsenal, but they're going to want to get a fee for him. They're not just going to terminate his contract like Millwall did for George Evans. But yeah, this would be an incredible signing. Great distribution as well, I must add. His kicking would be great for Ollie Palmer, who's that big hold-up striker, the target man to get those flick-ons. He's got great distribution, and I think it'd be really, really promising and a really, really good signing if we were to see Arthur Okonkwo in a Wrexham shirt. So yeah, it happened for the George Evans one. Just don't announce him anytime soon, Wrexham, because I'll do a separate video. The time now is currently, I don't have it here, 2:20, so let's hope he doesn't get announced at 3, because yeah, if it does get announced, then this is my analysis on Arthur Okonkwo. And yeah, like I said, I'd love to see a gunner turn a red. So yeah, the second transfer video of the day has been done. A very interesting one, a very promising one in my opinion. Make sure to get down there, subscribe for all the best Wrexham AFC content. Like I said, plenty of transfer news coming today. And yeah, make sure to drop a like on the video as well. And welcome to Wrexham, George Evans, and fingers crossed soon we can see Arthur Okonkwo in a Wrexham shirt. Take care, guys.